All right, y'all. I know it's been a while since y'all heard from me. I know you missed my voice. Y'all miss Abwon. My last review was almost like a month ago. It was Guardians of the Galaxy, a Marvel movie, and now I'm reviewing a DC movie. What a quinky dink, right? Funny how life works. Anyway, there were tons. No. There were more than a few women only screen. Let me rephrase that. There were more than a few females only screenings, and I say that because not every female out here is a woman, because there's a lot of grown ass little girls parading around here. But anyway, I digress. There were more than a few female only screenings for Wonder Woman, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. I personally thought that was dope. Just like they had an all-woman cast for Ghostbusters. I thought that was dope. But just like Ghostbusters, there were all types of men out here angry at the world. Oh, that's sexist. How come only women are invited to watch a movie about a female superhero? This makes no sense. I'm a man. Why can't I see it? Like, we don't have tons of other movies with just men in it. Like, come on. Y'all watch that trash like Expendables and like Fast and the Furious. Like, come on, bro. And you're complaining about this. Anyway, it's just so ridiculous to me. If y'all are that pissed off about there being female-only screenings for a movie that's based on the female equivalent to Superman in terms of popularity, I can only imagine the outrage when Black Panther comes out. Woo! Y'all might, you know what? I'm gonna chill. Let's get into the review, y'all. I remember when those, I guess they were Photoshop pictures of Megan Fox in a Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman costume came around, and I was like, yo, they really about to make a Wonder Woman movie? Like, Megan Fox does look like Wonder Woman. That might be a pretty good casting job. But, I mean, Megan Fox can't act, so that's when I was like, I really don't have any high hopes for the movie, because, like, Jennifer's Body is, like, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But anyway, then I saw the trailer for this movie, right? I said, yo, Wonder Woman really might be the best DC movie out since The Dark Knight. I stood by that. I told everybody, I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to review this movie. And I guarantee you it's going to be up there. It's going to be up there, even with the Marvel movies. So Wonder Woman is here. And I can honestly tell you that I feel like Wonder Woman is the best Lifetime movie I've ever seen. And for those of you that know how I feel about Lifetime, you know exactly what I'm saying. But for the folks that don't know, I feel like Lifetime is the ultimate anti-man channel. Any and every opportunity they have to basically put men down, they take advantage of it. From OJ movies to Menendez brothers movies to movies about mothers getting revenge on a man that killed their daughter. They always, and that's a real movie because Viola Davis and J-Lo was in it. Any opportunity, they take advantage of it. I still watch Lifetime from here and there, though. I put this movie in that same realm. Not saying it's an anti-man movie, and not saying that I do not like movies empowering women or empowering women or empowering women figures, because I sure as hell don't. I just feel like this movie, you know, the movie's 2 hours, right? For the first hour and change, I feel like we're being reminded, and I don't mean we as in men, I mean like we as in humans, and then some men are thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? But it's mostly humans first. Like, we're reminded how blessed we are to be in her presence. And then that basically graduates to how men are average and this and that compared to her. And then the last 45 minutes, when something happens, I'm not going to say anything. When something happens, everything is backwards. That's the biggest issue I have with the movie, but that's not why I did not like the movie, because I really did enjoy this movie. The movie is funny. The movie is really funny. It's really funny. Like, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was funny, but this movie is funny. But it's not in the same realm of why Guardians of the Galaxy is funny, because that's just funny because it's sarcastic and it's kind of charming. This is funny because basically she's new to the world, you know, she doesn't really know her surroundings and things like that. And then Captain Kirk, I don't know his name, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Chris Pine. I don't know. I can't differentiate the three. I'm just going to call him Captain Kirk. You know, he's showing her around town and things like that, basically getting her to her destination in a movie. And it's just funny. It's just funny the way they go about it. Like, there's this one scene, they're on a boat and they're going to sleep, and she's like, he's trying to be polite and be a gentleman, so he's like on the opposite side. He's like, I'm gonna go to sleep, and she's like, oh, why don't you want to sleep over here? What is it? Average men don't sleep with women. And he was like, no, like, I do sleep with women. I just thought it was funny. It's funny. Like, there's undertones and things going on between the two. Even the way they discuss sex, it's like really funny to me. Other people thought it was funny too. So the movie is good. It is funny. I'll definitely say that. It's definitely funny and lighthearted. If you're expecting to see a ton of action, this may not be the film for you. But remember, it's an origin film, so there's not going to be all types of action. But there are action scenes, and the action scenes that they have are really good. They're really good. They're really good. They're thought out. It's not just aimless action scenes like Batman versus Superman or, dare I say, the Avengers. They're really thought out. They're well executed. The biggest issue I had with them, no, the CGI could have been a little tighter, There's this one scene where she stands up in the middle of a battlefield, right? And they're like shooting rockets and all types of stuff at her, cannons and things like that. It's just explosions everywhere. It's like a Michael Bay film. And it's like, and when she stood up, you can tell she was in front of a green screen. Like, it straight up looked like a movie from the Sci-Fi Channel, yo. Like, I felt like she was in a green room. It looked so bad. The movie's also really dark too, but if you're not familiar with Zack Snyder, I said this in Batman vs. Superman. If you're not familiar with Zack Snyder, his movies are always dark. 300, Batman vs. Superman, etc., Sin City, all that. His movies are dark. There's not that many colors in it. Batman vs. Superman, I think the brightest thing in that movie was like the kryptonite. And this movie, the brightest thing in the movie is her lasso of truth. So, and even then, the lasso just, every time she uses it, it just looks, I don't know, to me it just looked kind of awkward. Like, it was just kind of too bright. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. It's supposed to glow, but it was like too bright. You know what I mean? I don't know. It is what it is. But, you know what I'm saying? She, the stunt double for Wonder Woman, like in the action scenes, was really good. You know, she had some dope scenes and things like that. There was a lot of too much stop-go for me. And I don't mean like the Matrix stop-go, because that's like a whole different thing where they like pan around the room. It wasn't like that. But I think they made that effect for the people that wanted to watch the movie in 3D. Just so you know, you do not need to watch this movie in 3D. Like, I didn't even know they had a 3D version of the film until my homeboy asked me, should I watch it in 3D? You're not missing anything if you watch it in 2D, because I sure as hell didn't miss anything. But yeah, no, she worked with, she did her thing. You know, you definitely feel like, yo, this woman, like Wonder Woman, is no joke, which is good, because when I walked into this movie, I wanted to feel like Wonder Woman was no joke. Just like, if you watch a movie with Storm, you want to feel like Storm from X-Men is no joke, but Halle Berry just can't nail that. But Wonder Woman did her thing in this one. The biggest issue I had with this film, though, the end fight scene, and this is the same issue I had with Luke Cage. Like, the whole time you're watching Luke Cage and Wonder Woman, you're constantly waiting for them to fight an equal, right? Because it's like they're just too much for the average enemy. You're waiting for them to fight an equal. You're waiting to see who that equal is. Finally, when the equal reveals himself and they have the fight scene, it's whack. It's whack as hell. It's whack as hell. Luke Cage in particular, but I'm not going to get into that. But Wonder Woman, the last fight scene, I was ready. I was so ready. I said, yo, I cannot wait to watch this fight scene. And then all it was, oh, I'm going to knock you into an airplane. Cut to another scene that's more practical, using human beings, that's not using green screen. Then we're going to come back. You're going to, hit me with a tank, and then we're gonna cut to another scene, and then we're gonna have that grand finale of the big explosion. Boom! Ah! I am victorious. It was disappointing. It was really disappointing. Really disappointing. Like, at least in Batman versus Superman, we had to sit here and wait almost 3 hours to see Batman actually fight Superman. And that fight scene was pretty dope. But the end fight scene in Wonder Woman, I felt like it was a major cop-out. I felt like the ending was a major cop-out. The last 30 minutes was a major cop-out. I felt like the end boss, the end villain was a major cop-out. I mean, I get it, why he's there, but it's just like, come on. I mean, it's got a little twist to it, like a little twist. Not like an M. Night Shyamalan twist, but like a little twist. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, come on, man. I don't know. It is what it is. But I will say this, though. I'm sticking to my word again. This is the best DC movie since The Dark Knight. Better than trash-ass Suicide Squad. And better than mediocre 3 hours for no reason Batman versus Superman. And I don't think Justice League is going to be good at all. But I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's going to be good. So Wonder Woman, I probably will watch it again just for the action scenes. Because the action scenes were pretty good. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in a rush to see it again. But anyway, I'm going to give it... I would have given it a 7.7, honestly. But for now, I'm going to give it just a 7. You know what I mean? Just because of those issues that I had that I told you about, like the inconsistencies in her personality, and then like the last 20 minutes. Like, I really enjoyed that movie. I was just sitting there, even when nothing was going on, like there was no action, I really enjoyed the movie. But the last 30 minutes, like, destroyed it for me. So, it is what it is. So, I'm going to give it a 7. Let me know what you think. Know what I'm saying? Maybe a lot of y'all are gonna be giving it 9 and 10s, but it is what it is. I really don't care. I'm giving it a 7. So I got the afterthoughts coming right now. It's real opinions from real people that watch the movie, so it's not just me. We have a conversation about it, so y'all can check that out. It's about to come up. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hit me up on Twitter. We can talk about it. All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Abwon. This is the afterthoughts section. Or segment, I should say, for Wonder Woman. And for my guest today, I have Jen D. Don't worry about what the D stands for, you pervs. So she's a DC advocate. I like Marvel. And she had high hopes for Wonder Woman, so we're going to talk about it. So, very first question, 1 through 10, what do you get a movie?
I'm going to give it a 7.
What's the best thing you liked about the movie?
I liked that I was definitely expecting like a Thor level fish out of water jokes left and right, but I like that nobody treated her like an idiot, which I feel sometimes happens in the Thor movies. I feel like everybody was just like, damn, she's very hopeful, but like nobody actually mocked her for being hopeful.
Yeah. Thor movies suck, actually.
Agreed.
I don't like the Thor movies at all, but I am going to watch Ragnarok because my man the Hulk is in it.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Thor, whatever. But back to Wonder Woman though. What's the worst thing you like? What's the biggest dislike of the movie?
I'm gonna say the cinematography. It definitely had that Zack Snyder look where everything had a grayish tone, except they were trying really hard to be like extra comic booky. So the things that were not so dark that my eyes hurt were super neon looking.
Yeah, like her lasso.
Yeah, her lasso was literally blinding me. It was like looking at a neon sign.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but if you're just staring at it, it'll hurt your eyeballs.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I remember there was a couple scenes where I had to like squint my eyes a little bit because it was like really difficult to watch.
Oh, some
it was,
of those
like, so
battle
dark.
scenes at night, my head hurt when I finished the movie because I couldn't know what character I was following because everything just turned gray and super speed, so I don't know who to follow with my eyeballs.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I mentioned all of that in the review too. But, excuse me. Also, somebody else also complained about the movie. They said that them and their 10-year-old son, like, the movie was like really dark. And they thought maybe the projectionist had switched lenses, but no, that's just how Zack Snyder is.
DC touch.
DC. But you know what? It's crazy because like Sin City and all those other movies, even though they're still dark, they're watchable. Like this was almost unwatchable sometimes.
Yeah.
It was just too dark.
No, they were straight up like at least 2 or 3 minutes per battle scene where I was like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, word. Speaking of battles, though, like, how did you feel about how they portrayed her as, I guess, a god in this movie?
I liked that she didn't know. I hated that every other line out of the queen's mouth was, she must not know.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
annoyed me because after like the 4th time, I was like, okay, unless somebody gives her like major exposition, she's clearly never going to find out through this movie. So when she got told at the end, I was like, I guess this is payoff.
I don't know.
But I liked it because she ascended into her power like through discovery. It's not that they told her you're the second coming of Jesus and then all of a sudden she had power over everything.
Yeah, and she like became a Super Saiyan.
Right.
Yeah.
Although she did.
I guess you could say that.
But she reached it on her own. She wasn't pushed to it.
Yeah, nah, you're definitely right. You're definitely right, and it's crazy. You know, it's because of that particular scene. That's almost one big issue I had with the movie. I didn't like I feel like her personality was like really inconsistent from like not giving away any spoilers. I feel like from the beginning to almost towards the last 40 minutes of the movie, it was almost like. I don't want to say I'm this all-powerful being, but it's like, I am woman, hear me roar. And then like towards like the end of the movie, it like she became like really emotional. Like she was almost like illogical, like, oh, maybe these men aren't deserving of me and everybody here is evil. And I was just like, what is going on?
That's the fish out of water thing.
I get that.
And they were pushing it the whole movie. The entire movie, she's like, let's turn around. Let's help these people. And you know, the Chris Pine character is like, we can literally not save everyone on Earth. And she would be like, no, but they're hurting. That was the whole movie. You can't say that was just all said at the end.
The way the men's roles is what I mean.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give too many away, but I still liked it. I really liked this movie into the last half hour. Like, I really liked it into the last half hour. When they revealed the villain and then that last fight scene, I was all in. Like, yo, this shit is tough. And then when I saw that, I was just like...
Well, let me tell you what was wrong. The movie had a great build-up. And you're right. I was with the movie up until, like, the last maybe 20 minutes. Not because I don't think it works. I think it's a good ending. It's a little vague.
I feel like it was rushed.
But
I feel like the fight scene, the battle scene was like really... I feel like it was a cop-out because it really wasn't...
It was a cop-out because once she reaches her peak, without giving a spoiler...
The fight's over.
You know exactly what's going to go down.
Yep.
It's like once she gives that like look that she hit when she hit her peak, like peak form, she fucking transcended or whatever.
Yeah.
Then that's it. The movie's over. There's no point in showing us the battle because
she reached
we know.
her superhero climax.
It could have cut to black at that moment and we didn't have to see it. Like that's how like much build up there was.
But even if she didn't like, shit, I got something in my eye. But even if she didn't reach her apex, I feel like that battle scene was still whack. It was like okay. So
let's discuss this. I'm a DC stan, yes, but I like filmmaking, so obviously I'm gonna point out what's shitty. Why does every DC movie end with the most shitty CGI of all time?
I did have a really big issue.
Had half that battle been practical, you would not be complaining about it.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not the CGI that I'm complaining about. It's just like there was no battle. Even though I did say in my review, I feel like the CGI it could have been a little tighter. That one scene where she has the shield and she's like walking through the fields. I don't want to give too much away. That was a very good scene. But when she stands up out the trenches first, and then you see like the war in the background, I'm like, yo, I feel like she just stood up in like that suit with all the balls on it, and she's like in a green room because it looked like really bad CGI. But that was a really good scene though.
Well, let me tell you this. The whole movie had really bad CGI if you think about it. And I'll tell you why. They could not blend the effects of women doing roundhouse kicks. Because every single time in a movie that a woman does the move, you know what the move is? They jump off, they do a flip in the air, and throw an arrow.
Yeah.
Whenever they do the flip back onto the ground, it looks like they slow down like 10 frames just to like...
Show them doing the move? Do you know what I mean?
Like, so the CGI could work in that moment.
Oh, I see.
It looks really fake, every landing. Every landing in this movie looks fake. Like, I think they should have watched Underworld and learned how to properly fall on the ground.
Yo, that would, Underworld, yeah.
And Underworld is not the end all be all. That's not saying much, but I'm just saying, like.
Word. But those first two Underworld movies are fantastic. But back to the ending battle, my issue with it is like almost like the same issue I had with like Luke Cage. Like I just felt like there was a lot of build up to the ending battle, and there really wasn't one. It was like, oh, I'm gonna throw you into a car. You're gonna knock me into a building, and then we're just gonna cut to another scene. And then when we come back, I'm gonna destroy the earth. I'm gonna pound the ground, and all of this shit's gonna fly up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna spend the whole movie building a weapon against you, and then you're gonna say Martha.
And then they're friends again, right? After he fucking slit his face with that kryptonite spear.
I'm just saying, I just think DC has a plotting issue. And you have to commend this director. She added a lot of heart, because this is what's missing from DC, I feel, is that everybody's so gritty and so down in the ground in their boots and so serious and self-serious that here the silly moments sometimes felt like they were pushing comedy where there wasn't comedy.
Yeah.
But it had a lot of heart. And like I said, nobody ever mocked her. And I thought that was fucking groundbreaking for a DC movie.
Yeah. No, I really did like it. I know I definitely told you this before. I said, excuse me, this is going to be the best DC movie not named The Dark Knight. And I still stand by that. Because I feel like it was better. I didn't like Suicide Squad. You already know that. And Batman vs. Superman. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were on the review, too. Batman vs. Superman wasn't that bad, but this is still better. So...
Batman vs. Superman was not a great movie.
It wasn't. I also feel like it was just a little too long.
It had a shit ton of filler.
Excuse me.
I don't ever want to eat a Jolly Rancher ever again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that scene. It's cherry. I'm like, yo, what? But, okay, so what are your hopes for Justice League?
I'm scared now. Because while they did a great job, they still fell on the same formula to a certain degree by ending it with this big climactic CGI fest. And I don't want them to introduce like the heart and the logic and the cleverness of certain characters and then undercut everything with some 20 minutes of fakery at the end where everybody's going to be like, oh, well, that ended like shit.
Yeah, true. Oh, true.
Because I could have... Also, this movie had an issue with lingering glances. Like, if you're going to say something and I understand you, so we look at each other because we don't even have to say anything. It was going on for like a beat too long every single scene.
Okay.
They could have easily cut out a half hour of staring.
No, you're definitely right.
And I feel like that happened in Batman vs. Superman as well, between Batfleck and Superman a lot.
God.
And
there was a whole bunch of sword fighting in that movie.
You throw in The Flash, you throw in Cyborg, you throw in Aquaman. They're all going to have similar concepts of being like the weirdo from wherever they're from, whatever their little backstory is going to be. And I feel like that movie's going to be like 3 hours and a half. Edited weirdly. It's going to end in some climactic battle with like that X-Men shot or Avengers shot of all the people jumping in the air at the same time.
Every superhero movie uses that shot, yo.
And then that freeze frame is gonna be the end credits.
Yeah,
you know, like
with cheesy ass music.
Don't you forget about me. I don't know. I'm afraid. I'm a little afraid. Also, like I said previously, I'm very afraid of the fact that Ben Affleck was on as long as there was a good script for Batman, and then he was just like, psych, not doing it.
Yeah,
that makes me fearful because I feel like he must have seen some shit where maybe he wasn't given as much control as he was told, or maybe that shitty Cuban movie that he did sucked, and they're like,
Cuban movie.
Yeah, he did a movie where he was like a mob boss in New Orleans.
Oh, with Dandy Newton,
Zoe Saldana. Well, they might as well be the same person, so I don't think it matters.
They're skinny, light-skinned women.
Yes. Who need a burger. Just for fuck's sake, you can throw Keira Knightley into that list too. But I'm saying, I don't know if they lost confidence in him or he lost confidence in them, but the fact that he is still the Batman but won't touch it personally, like, won't put his name on it in that way, scares me for the Justice League movie. And also, the issues that we're having with the fact that Joss Whedon is going to be the one that's helming the post-production now.
Yeah, DC decided to get rid of their DC guy and go the Marvel and get a
he's
sellout.
He's going through some stuff. It's not like,
Nah, I definitely feel you. All right, then, before this ends up being 50 minutes and people are like, yo, I'm not watching this shit, listening to this shit anymore. Let everybody know where to find you. Do whatever you do. Promo whatever you want to promo. And we'll call it a day.
I mean, I have stuff in the works. So I feel like if you ever have me back, then I'll properly promo.
If I ever have you back, I talk to you like every day.
You know what I mean.
All right, y'all. That's it for the review. Holla at us. And see you next time.
And go watch Wonder Woman. It's worth it despite everything we said.
Yeah, definitely go. Yeah, definitely go watch it. What's the next big movie coming out?
Atomic Blonde.
I'm gonna watch that. That definitely looks like that looks like a good one. That movie looks like Kill Bill and
John Wick
and La Femme Nikita, like
all together.
Yeah, that movie looks really good. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.